Hello and welcome back to Music with Mascots. Today, I'm going to be talking about Avashai Cohen. Not that Avashai Cohen, the other one. How many Avashai Cohens are there? I don't know. In the jazz world, 2. Now, how come balloons just went across my screen? There are 2 Avashai Cohens. One a jazz trumpet player, one a jazz bass player. One is older than the other, and evidently they are not related. Now, there may be a lot of other people named Avashai Cohen, but I haven't found him yet. And I found one by accident. Well, technically, it's all a great, wonderful accident that's ongoing in my life. If you watched the previous video on 2 bass players, we have 2 bass players and 2 Avashai Cohens today, only one of whom is a bass player. So I'm going to start with the other one. Now, I've been a fan of Avashai Cohen, the bass player, for a little while now, and I saw this album, Ashes to Gold, pop up on, I don't know if it was Amazon or another website, but it popped up. I thought, oh, there's an Avashai Cohen album I don't have. And indeed, it was an Avashai Cohen album that I didn't have. But lo and behold, when I got it, I put it on the CD player. And it was not what I expected. It was amazing, and I was expecting amazing. But the lead here was the trumpet player. So I Googled Avashai Cohen. Avashai Cohen pops up, and it says, Avashai Cohen, bass player. I'm thinking, yeah, that's the guy. But I'm thinking now, why did they put bass player next to his name? If you Google Miles Davis, you can get Miles Davis. And, trumpet player may be in there somewhere. But everyone knows who Miles Davis is. Avashai Cohen, jazz bass player. So I scroll down a little bit. A little farther down, there's Avashai Cohen, trumpet player. And I'm thinking, is this a multi-instrumentalist? Or is this a doppelganger? Well, not quite a doppelganger because he doesn't play bass, he plays trumpet. This is a great album. And I bought it expecting something else, but got a great album. Avashai Cohen is really a trumpet player. He's a phenomenal musician. I saw him in concert a couple of weeks ago at the Egg in Albany. Maybe it was a month ago now. And it was one of the best jazz concerts that I've ever been to. These guys have been on tour for a little while, and it was their next to last stop. They opened with a piece that was just gorgeous, that was not on this album, so I had not heard it before. And he dedicated it to the Syrian people in honor of the suffering that they have gone through year after year, decade after decade of civil war, and now finally coming out on the other side, yet still not knowing what's going to be. Avashai Cohen, trumpet, flugelhorn, and flute. Jonathan Avashai, piano, has his own piano jazz albums. Barak Mori, double bass. Zvi Ravitz, drums. Every one of these guys is a virtuoso. And this album on ECM is definitely worth buying. Let's go over the songs. Then I'll talk a little bit about the concert. I did buy an extra copy, and had him sign it at the concert for me. Ashes to Gold, part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is dedicated to the Israelis who were killed on October 7th. And it's just a very, very emotional piece. And it's gorgeous. You will cry at times. You will be grateful for the music. I know that I was. And seeing it performed in concert, and so well performed. The night that I saw these guys, they were on. And for those of you that are regular concert goers, you know what I mean. Performers are human beings. Ensembles are groups of human beings. There are nights that are special when you're at a performance. This night was special. These guys were locked in. When there was a melody where more than one musician was playing, you could not distinguish between one person and another. They performed as if they were one person on a fantastic night. When we buy recordings and we talk about the sound stage and the performance, and what we're really looking for is to capture what I experienced and what the audience experienced that night in Albany. It was a small audience. There were maybe 100, 150 people there, tops. It's a small venue. The Egg has two theaters that I know of. One's larger than the other. One will hold several thousand people, I think, and one will hold several hundred people. And he was in the smaller theater. It was just an amazing, amazing performance. I can't even come up with words to describe this. In psychology, they talk about a peak experience. For me, this was a peak experience. I hope it was for them as well. I don't know what else to say. The album, which is outstanding, and I love it, is secondary to the live. I don't remember how much I paid for tickets, but it was well worth that experience. I also picked up this album, Flood. This is part 2 of the Big Rain trilogy. Trumpet, piano, and percussion. I have to listen to that at some point. The last 2 pieces of the night, and he did talk about what's happening to the Palestinian people. He's a very sensitive individual, and while he wrote Ashes to Gold about the Jews that were killed, he is very sensitive to what's going on now, and he does not try to justify it. He does not. He's aware of the suffering and would like to see that end, as I would also. I don't believe there's any justification for what's happening now. Moving on, the Adagio Assai from Ravel's Piano Concerto in G major is on this album, and he performed that. And the 7th, a piece written by his daughter. Somebody asked him, is your daughter getting royalties from this? And he said, yes, she gets a weekly allowance. I don't remember how old she was, 12 or 13. The other, Avashai Cohen. Let's get back to the first Avashai Cohen. And I can say the first because he was born earlier. Now, both of these men are younger than I am. But I think the bass player is 10 years younger than I am. Whereas the other Avashai Cohen is about 15 years or so younger than I am. The Avashai Cohen, the bass player, he toured with Chick Corea in the acoustic band. He tours with his own trio, and I hope to have the opportunity of seeing him sometime in the near future. Don't know how that's going to go. With the world the way it is today, things are changing, and we have no idea what's going to happen. But I have contributed to the pocketbook of Avashai Cohen. Gently Disturbed. Great album. From Darkness. Great album. Two Roses with the Gothenburg Symphony Orchestra. These are beautiful orchestrated pieces. Now, many of the pieces on this are original pieces by Avashai Cohen, but there's also a traditional Ladino piece. There are pieces by other composers. Eden Abez, Mordechai Zaira, Thad Jones. This is, I want to say, more of a pastoral album for me. It was meditative, gorgeous music. It's jazz, but it's accessible jazz. Avashai Cohen. Sensitive Hours. Sensitive Hours. Now, if you don't want to buy all of these Avashai Cohen albums, now all of this is streamable, but there is a collection. The 50 Gold Collection. This is kind of like a greatest hits. There's like 4 or 5 pieces from each of a number of his albums. And it's on gold vinyl. That's vinyl, not gold. Gold colored vinyl. Not actual gold, although the music is gold. So if you like his music, but you don't want to buy every album, this is a great way to go. I don't remember how much it cost. It is a limited edition. I don't know how many it's limited to. Okay, so if you've listened to my ramblings long enough now, I highly recommend both Avashai Cohens. Listen to their music. It's different. You're not going to mistake one for the other once you start listening. Great jazz performers. That's it for the Avashai Cohens of the world. May they live long, prosper, and be happy. If you've made it this far, please hit the like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. If you want more reviews like these, let me know. If you want me to review other stuff that you might not have heard but might be interested in, let me know. Let's see if we can't grow our mutual musical experience. And I will be discussing stuff other than jazz soon.